Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to continue with our tapestry crochet. I'm going to use the same color that I did last time because they were actually pretty good colors together. So I'm using a 6.5, which is a K hook, because both of my yarns are 4-weight yarns. So that's why I chose to do that. I think both of them call for a 5mm hook, so I went with a 6.5. Some other videos I used different yarns and I used a J hook, a 6, but this one I think I'll stick with the 6.5 for these two colors. Moving forward, this will be color A, which is our base color. And this will be our color B, which is going to be the letter. So color B is the letter color, color A is the base color. Let's jump right into this. You're going to chain 12 and do 11 single crochets back up. So I'm just teaching you how to tapestry crochet, but if you're making a bunting, then you might, start with a triangle or do 3 rows of this before we get into the tapestry part, or whatever you're going to do. Just know I'm not teaching you how to do a bunting in these videos. I'm teaching you how to do tapestry crochet. So however you want this to look, do that first before you start to join me for the tapestry part. So I'm going to do my 11 single crochets back up. That's my 11. So I'm going to do 3 single crochets before I incorporate my next color. I'm going to do 2.5. So that's number 1. That's 2 single crochets with my A. This is my third one. So I'm going to pull up the loop. I'm not going to finish the stitch because I want to finish it with my new color, with my letter color. So this will be color B. So finish your stitch with your color B. At this point you're going to have to weave in everything. So it can be awkward just after you first get started, but I'm sure if you're doing a letter U, you've done the other ones with me as well, so you probably know what the deal is. With your color B, you're going to do 5 single crochets. So that's my 5, but I'm going to finish it with my color A because I'm going back to that. And with your color A, still weaving in all your stuff at the back, you're going to do 3 single crochets. And this turning over stitch can be difficult sometimes. That's my 3 single crochets. I'm going to snip off the tail of my B color, but not the lead. I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to move this lead to now this side where I'm going to weave it in. So I'm going to carry the colors throughout because you want to be able to read these letters from both sides. You don't want stragglers. Round 3, we're going to do 2 single crochets with our A, So that's my second one. So I'm going to finish my second stitch with my color B. With my color B, I'm going to do 7 single crochets. So each row has to add up to 11. Make sure you're got this weaving in the back. Oops. So that was my 7th stitch. I have to finish my 7th stitch with my color A. Pull down on everything and now weave in your color A at the back and do your 2 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work. So carrying my gray around to the back. Round 4 is going to be 1 single crochet. So I'm going to do my half of a single crochet because I get to finish it with my color B. With my color B, I'm going to do 9 single crochets, so all the way to the end, leaving 1 stitch. This is my 9th stitch. Before I finish it with my color A, I just want to pull. I had to switch cards. My card was full. So anyway, I'm on my last stitch. I'm going to pull that down. And I'm going to do my 1 single crochet. Drives me nuts when I have to split the cards like that. Chain 1, turn your work. So because we're doing the letter U, we're gonna now do, this is the blank part's gonna be in here, so now we gotta do these 2. So it's going to be 11 rows of what I'm going to show you next. So you're going to do 1 single crochet with your color A. You're going to finish it with your color B. Pull down on everything. You're going to do 3 single crochets with your color B. That's 3. So you're going to finish it with your color A. If you can. With your color A, you're going to do 3 single crochets. You're going to finish it with your color B. With your color B, you're going to do 3 single crochets. You're going to finish your 3rd stitch with your color B, or A, sorry, and then you're going to do your 1 single crochet with your color A, chain 1, and turn. So you're going to do this for 11 rows. So I just did just that one with you. You've got 10 more to do, and I will see you on the other side. So that is my 11 rows. So I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn because I'm on the last row. We are now on row 16 because we just did 5 to 15. So row 16 is just 11 single crochets with your color A. But I'm going to weave in my color B as I go because I just want to snip it off at the end. So this is the end for me, but if you're making a bunting, you might want to do a couple more rows so you can sew it over a piece of thread. But for the tapestry part, we just need to cut off enough to weave with. And then this can just get cut off because we're done. And I weaved it in. So if you don't like this, you can do a single crochet all the way around. I guess I should have said that before I made you cut it off. And then once you're finished, whichever you're doing with this, you can just very politely, very nicely weave in your ends. So the letter V is also going to be repetitive. So you're going to have to block these, obviously. But if you just pull, you're going to move that around in the back. But that is you. Let's get right to the letter V. So again, you're going to start with your chain 12 and 11 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work, these next two rows are going to be identical, so you're going to do 4 single crochets. That's 4 single crochets, so I'm only going to do half that stitch. I'm going to finish it with my new color, awkwardly enough. So pull down on everything. You're going to want to weave these in at the back. So with your color B, which is the gray, my letter color, you're going to do 3 single crochets. Weaving in my color A at the back. So that's my third stitch. I'm going to finish it with my color A. Pull down on everything, keeping it nice and tight. So with your color A, you can do 4 single crochets. And this is number 4, this turning over stitch. Make sure you weave in your color, other color at the back. So, I'm just going to snip this little guy off. That's just my new color tail when I added it. So you're going to chain 1, and you're going to turn, bringing your other color around to the back, and you're going to do this exact same row again. So round 4 is going to be 3 single crochets. On your third stitch, you're going to finish it with your color B. With your color B, you're going to do 5 single crochets. So on my 5th stitch, I'm going to finish it with my color A, and I'm going to do 3 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 5 and round 6 are going to be the same. If I can get my color A at the back. So you're going to do 2 single crochets with your color A. So finish your second one with your color B. With color B, you're going to do 7 single crochets. That's my 7. So I'm going to finish it with my A. And then with my A, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So go ahead and do the exact same thing for the next row, which will be row 6. Round 7 is going to be 1 single crochet. So you got to finish that stitch with your color B. Color B is going to be 4 single crochets. So on your 4th one, you're going to finish that with your color A. Then you're going to do 1 single crochet with your color A, which means you're only going to do half the stitch. And then you got to finish it with your color B. Then you're going to do 4 single crochets with your color B. And that's my 4th one, so I'm going to finish that with my color A, pulling everything tight, and do my 1 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. So just take a second and unwind if you have to unwind. So you just gotta twist it till it comes unwound. For the next 8 rows, you're going to do the same thing. So your repeat is going to be 1 single crochet. So you have to finish that with your color B. With your color B, you're going to do 3 single crochets. So you have to finish the 3rd stitch with your color A. Pull down on everything. Color A is going to be 3 single crochets. So finish that 3rd stitch with your color B. Pull down on everything. Color B is going to be 3 single crochets. So finish the 3rd stitch with your color A, And then you're going to do 1 single crochet with your color A. Chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to repeat this 7 more rows. So this is what I got so far. It looks really close to the U, but the U that's very pointy. But so our last row is going to be 16. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to weave in my gray, my color B, but color A is going to be 11 single crochets. So this is 11 for me. So I'm going to fasten off, but if you don't, like I said, you don't like this artifact around the side, you can do 1 single crochet all the way around. Me, I like it. I'm going to leave it. So I weaved in my last row, so I'm just going to cut that off. And that is our U and our V. So that was pretty quick. The rest of them really are kind of quick. They're not as detailed as some of the earlier letters. Or we're just getting really better at it. Really better at it. Do your weaving in your ends. Do your booking. Booking? Blocking. Why do I keep calling it that? So I used to hang wallpaper for a living. So when you wet the wallpaper and then you have to book it by folding the sticky part to the sticky part, I keep saying booking for that reason. I'm just used to saying that word. But this is blocking. So there we go. We got our U and our V. All done. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.